So once again, good afternoon to one and all. So last lecture we have seen the first law undergoes change of state. Okay, whenever the system is considered closed and it undergoes change of state, then we have got one equation: Q is equal to delta U plus W, or you can say Q is equal to delta E plus W. So this is the first law equation when system undergoes change of state. Okay,
सर स्क्रीन दिसत नाही.
screen not visible.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
One second. Now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So last lecture we have seen that after studying the statements of the first law, we have seen the various statement of the first law. So by studying the laws, we are applying to the process where the change of state is taking place. So here, when first law is applied to the thermodynamics for closed system, first law of thermodynamics applied to closed system undergoing change of state. Whenever there's a state change, maybe state 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay, so when you consider state 1 and 2, and during the interaction of heat and work, so whatever the energy stored in the system is nothing but internal energy. Okay, so we have got an equation that is Q is equal to delta U or delta E plus W. So this is the first law equation. This is one equation. Similarly, also we have prepared, or we have studied the second statement of the first law, that is amount of work supplied, or the summation of work supplied, or the summation of heat added to the system is equal to total, or the summation of total heat transferred, or the work transferred by the system. So like that we have formed one statement, we have prepared one statement. So we can have the equation summation Q is equal to summation W. So already we have noted this equation. Okay. So these two equations are the first law equations. So based on this, we are going to have one derivation, so which is very, very important. That is, internal energy is a property of the system. Internal energy is a property of the system. So put the heading: internal energy is a property of the system. So draw this graph on y-axis pressure, on x-axis volume. Show the path A, B, and C, and the state point number 1, state point number 2. So draw this graph fast. Over? Is it over? Hello?
No, sir.
No, sir.
झालं, sir.
Okay. Now it's very important derivation in the examination. You will find for 3 marks. Prove that or explain internal energy is a property of the system. कधी कधी तुम्हाला 3 मार्काला प्रश्न विचारते याच्यावरती. Prove that internal energy is a property of the system. So we have to prove it mathematically. Or sometime question will be explain internal energy is a property of the system. At that time you have to write this derivation. So we will consider a system executing a cycle, okay, by a process. Okay, so here state point number 1. So system start moving from point number 1 to 2 by following path A, again from 2 to 1 by following path B. Okay, so if you see that 1 to 2 is the process, 1A2 is the process, this is one, then 2B1 is the second process. So if you check the state points, system start moving from 1 ends to 2, again 2 to 1. So again it is coming back to point number 1. Okay, so this complete one cycle. Similarly, you can have 1A2 is one path, again this 2C1 is second path. Okay, so like this number of paths you can find, right? So here we want to prove that internal energy is a property of the system, because it, whenever we say property of the system, it depends on only states. It does not depend on the path followed. जो काही path follow त्याच्यावर depend नाहीये. तर आपल्याला mathematically prove करायचं आहे. How we can prove it? See, we will consider a system executing cycle by the process. Let us consider a path A or process 1A2. Okay, so can you apply the first law equation? Hello, can we apply first law equation for this path A or process 1A2? Can you apply?
1 to path A.
Yes, कारण आपण अगोदर एक डिस्कशन केलं होतं बघा. A closed system undergo change of state. So what is the equation? Q is equal to delta U plus W. So by using this concept, or by using this equation, we can prove that internal energy is a property of the system. आता इथं बघा. So for the process 1 to 2, or you can say 1A2 is the process where change of state takes place, 1 to 2. Okay, so we can apply first law equation here. Can we apply the first law equation for path A? What is the we can get the equation QA for the path A. I am indicating by prefix, sorry, at the bottom A. QA is equal to change in internal energy. Either you can say delta E of A or delta UA. Okay, A means what? It is a path, plus W, that is work transfer. Correct. So can you write for the path A, QA is equal to delta A plus WA, or you can write QA is equal to delta U of A plus WA. Right. So you can say this equation number 1. You can say equation number 1. This is equation number 1. Similarly, for path B, if you see the path B, because system again moving from 2 to 1 separately, so you can apply first law for this process 2 to 1. So what is the equation? QB, B means what? Path B. QB is equal to delta U of B plus WB. So this is equation number 2. Understood? Two equations, very simple. Does not require to by heart the equations. फक्त simply काय करायचं आहे, आपला हा एक फॉर्म्युला जो आहे फर्स्ट लॉचा, whenever system undergo change of state, ओके, तर त्याचा एक जो फॉर्म्युला आपण स्टँडर्ड आपण डिराइव केलेला आहे, Q इज इक्वल टू डेल्टा U और डेल्टा E प्लस W. तर तो फक्त फॉर्म्युला आपण इथं अप्लाय करतोय. आता इथं पहिला जो पाथ आहे किंवा पहिली प्रोसेस आहे 1A2, तर ह्यासाठी मी फर्स्ट लॉच इक्वेशन अप्लाय केलं. तर लिहिताना कसं लिहिलं मी, QA इज इक्वल टू डेल्टा E ऑफ A प्लस WA, याला इक्वेशन नंबर 1 म्हटलं. त्यानंतर परत दुसरी प्रोसेस घेतली 2B1 और यू कॅन से पाथ B, तर त्याचं इक्वेशन लिहिलं QB इज इक्वल टू डेल्टा E ऑफ B और डेल्टा UB प्लस WB, इक्वेशन नंबर 2. काय अडचण आहे कोणाला हे इक्वेशन लिहिण्याबद्दल? एनी डाऊट? एकदम सिंपल आहे. फक्त फर्स्ट लॉच इक्वेशन चेंज ऑफ स्टेट साठी लिहिलेलं आहे अकॉर्डिंग टू द पाथ. ह्याला A हा पाथ झाला, हा B पाथ झाला, कारण ही 1 to 2 एक प्रोसेस आहे, नंतर 2 to 1 एक प्रोसेस आहे. ओके, त्याप्रमाणे इक्वेशन 1 and 2 लिहिले या ठिकाणी. नाउ इफ यू सी द ग्राफ, 1A2 system is moving from 1A2 again 2 to 2B1. So can we say this complete a cycle? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
System execute a cycle or the system complete a cycle. If system is completing the cycle, so we can apply first law equation. Whenever system undergo the cycles, we can have the equation summation W is equal to summation Q. Summation W is equal to summation Q, or summation Q is equal to summation W. You can write alternate also, no problem. Okay, so what this summation means?
Addition.
It's addition. So can we write here W of for A, W of A plus W of B. See, I have written W of B plus W of A or W of A plus W of B is equal to, कारण तुम्ही हे दोनच फक्त घेतले ना एवढंच सायकल, त्यामुळे इथं काय येणार Q of A plus Q of
B.
हा. Now you can interchange A terms at one side, B terms at one side. A च्या टर्म्स एका साइडला घ्या, B च्या टर्म एका साइडला घ्या. Now here this WB, B terms will take to the left side and A terms will to the right side. घ्या मग आता WB as it is. This QA, if you shift to the left side, it will be minus, correct? WB
Yes, sir.
minus QB
QB.
is equal to QA as it is, and this plus W will, if you shift to the right, it will be minus. So
Minus
what?
W.
Minus WA, correct. Now what you can do here, if you see our equation, what is equation, standard equation? Please, those who are made unmute, please mute it. Q is equal to delta E plus W. This is the standard equation of the first law for change of state. Correct. Now, here, if I want to write here this Q and W to the left side, how you can write Q minus W is equal to delta E, correct? Q minus W is equal to delta E. तसं मी आता इथं एक्सप्रेस लिहितो, पहिला Q ची टर्म असेल नंतर W असेल. सो I should take as a minus common here. बरोबर आहे का?
Yes, sir.
लेफ्ट साइडला तुम्ही काय करावं लागेल, मायनस कॉमन घ्यावं लागेल. इफ यू टेक मायनस कॉमन, देन व्हॉट विल हॅपन? सो मायनस इनसाइड द ब्रॅकेट दिस QB minus WB. If you take minus common from this equation, you can write minus in bracket QB minus WB bracket complete is equal to, आता इथं तर आहे तसं आपल्या फॉर्मॅट प्रमाणे Q as it is, W as it is. So QA minus WA. हा, मॅथमॅटिकल स्टेप्स या ठिकाणी आपण अरेंज करतोय. So what is this QB minus WB?
Delta E.
Delta E, correct. So but B is a path B, so we can write for this delta E of B, that is outside sign is minus, so minus delta E of B is equal to this QA minus WA. What is the internal energy? Delta E of A.
A.
Correct. So minus delta E of B is equal to delta E of A. Okay, याला इक्वेशन नंबर आपण थर्ड म्हणूयात. Okay. Now similarly, if you consider this 1A2 and 2C1, what will be equation? बघा आता मी सायकल कसं कन्सिडर करतोय. 1A2 and 2C1, how we can write equation? Tell me.
1 to path A.
No, how we can write equation?
Okay.
बघा ना आता तुम्ही कसं केलं बघा, पहिल्या सायकल साठी कसं केलं, पहिली सायकल कशी कन्सिडर केली, 1A2 हे एक प्रोसेस, दुसरी प्रोसेस 2B1 हे सेकंड प्रोसेस झाली, मग हे एक सायकल तयार झाली. मग ह्या सायकलवर तुम्ही इक्वेशन इथं पण आला, इक्वेशन थर्ड पर्यंत. आता मला काय करायचं आहे, आय विल कन्सिडर ए प्रोसेस 1A2 अँड 2C1. 1A2 आणि 2C1 हे पण काय झाली, सायकल तयार झाली. तर ह्याच्यासाठी तुम्ही कसं इक्वेशन लिहाल?
Delta EA is equal to minus delta EC.
Correct. Minus delta E of C is equal to plus, that is delta E of A. See, here we have written it here. याला इक्वेशन नंबर 4 म्हणा वाटल्यास काय अडचण नाही. Minus delta E of C is equal to delta E of A. Are you getting how we can get this equation? हे चौथं कसं इक्वेशन आलेलं आहे. जसं तुम्ही थर्ड इक्वेशन काढलं तसंच तुम्ही चौथं इक्वेशन काढू शकता. Minus delta E of, or you can say delta E of A is equal to minus delta E of C, or minus delta E of C is equal to delta E of A. याला इक्वेशन नंबर 4 म्हणा. Now look at equation third and fourth. What is the similarity? Tell me. If you look at equation number third and equation number 4, काय तुम्हाला similarity दिसते?
Delta E.
Yes, if you see the equation third, right side is what? Delta E of A. And equation 4, right side is again delta E of A. So RH is same. When RHS is same means what? LHS is same. बरोबर का? So can we write from equation third and 4, LHS is equal to RHS. From equation third and 4, we can write from equation third and fourth. Okay, we can write LHS is equal to RHS. Then what is the equation? Delta E of B is equal to delta E of C. Getting finally, delta E of B is equal to delta E of C. So from this we can conclude, hence there is a change in internal energy between the state of the system is same irrespective of the path followed. म्हणजे कुठलाही path कसाही follow द्या, पण ते काय, whatever the change in internal energy is there between the two state of the system, here it is nice conclusion is made here. See that is same irrespective of path followed by the system. Are you getting? Change in internal energy between the states, two states of the system is the same irrespective of path followed by the system. Therefore, internal energy is a point function or a property of the system. Are you getting? मागे आपण म्हटलो बघा, all the properties are the point functions or the state functions. Getting? So we have proved it mathematically. कुठलाही पाथ असेल तर त्यावर डिपेंड नाही, ते कशावर डिपेंड आहे? स्टेटवर डिपेंड आहे. ओके, म्हणून ही कन्क्लुजन काढले बघा. ही कन्क्लुजन खूप महत्वाचं आहे. Change in internal energy between the two state of the system is same. Change in internal energy between two state of the system is the same irrespective of path followed. म्हणजे कुठलाही पाथ फॉलो दे करू द्या, पण त्याच्या एंड स्टेटवर त्याची इंटरनल एनर्जी डिपेंड आहे. Therefore, internal energy is a point function or a property of the system. Okay, so we know that total energy equation kinetic plus potential plus internal energy. But if you consider for a stationary system, the system stationary असेल तर आपण कायनेटिक आणि पोटेन्शियल एनर्जी काय करतो? झिरो कन्सिडर करतो. बघा, ज्यावेळेस आपण फर्स्ट लॉज इक्वेशन काढलं होतं, Q इज इक्वल टू डेल्टा ई प्लस डब्ल्यू, त्यावेळेस पण हे म्हटलं होतं बघा, इट इज कन्सिडर टू बी झिरो बिकॉज system is considered as stationary. So we can consider Ke equal to P equal to 0. Therefore, delta E of B or delta E of B is equal to delta E of C. Internal energy is a property of the system. Getting this? Delta E of B is equal to, or delta E of B is equal to delta E of C is internal energy is a property of the system. Okay. जर तुम्ही त्या स्टेटवर डिपेंड असेल, ओके, तर इथे फायनल कन्क्लुजन काढलं बघा, सायक्लिक इंटिग्रल ऑफ एनी प्रॉपर्टी झिरो बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स फायनल स्टेट इज आयडेंटिकल विथ इनिशियल स्टेट. म्हणून आपण फायनल लिहिले बघा, डेल्टा इज इक्वल टू झिरो, म्हणजे स्टेट 1 to 2 अगेन 2 to 1, शेवटी प्रॉपर्टी त्याचा डिफरन्स काढला तर काय येतोय? झिरो आहे. म्हणून आपण लिहिलंय की सायक्लिक इंटिग्रल. सो दिस कंडिशन इज व्हेरी व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. सो वाइल सॉल्विंग द न्यूमेरिकल्स यू रिक्वायर दिस. Cyclic integral of change in internal energy is always equals to 0. Okay, the reason is what? Because final state is identical with initial state, hence delta E is equals to 0. Actually तुमचं डेरिवेशन इथं संपतंय, लक्षात ठेवा, इथंपर्यंतच. त्याच्यानंतर एक ऍडिशनल इन्फॉर्मेशन या ठिकाणी, हे काय सगळं लिहायची गरज नाही. युअर डेरिवेशन एंड्स अबोव दिस ब्रॅकेट ओनली, बट इट्स अन ऍडिशनल इन्फॉर्मेशन. ओके, तेवढे 3 मार्कासाठी तुम्हाला ते मॅथमॅटिकली प्रूव्ह करायचं. डेल्टा ई ऑफ बी इज इक्वल डेल्टा ऑफ सी, आणि लास्ट फायनली इक्वेशन फक्त स्टेटमेंट लिहायचं. दिस इज द हेन्स चेंज इन एनर्जी बिटवीन द टू स्टेट ऑफ सिस्टम इज सेम इरिस्पेक्टिव्ह ऑफ पाथ फॉलोड. देअरफॉर एनर्जी इज ए पॉइंट फंक्शन ऑर द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ द सिस्टम. इज इट क्लिअर ऑल?
येस सर.
कुणाला काही शंका असेल तर विचारा. आता मला कुठली स्टेप अशी का आली, काय असं केलं का होतंय, की असं का लिहिले तसं का लिहिले, असं कुणाला काही शंका असेल तर विचारातच. कुठली स्टेप समजली नाहीये. सो दिस डेरिवेशन इज इम्पॉर्टंट. यू कॅन मेक 3 stars. गॉट इट एव्हरीवन? सगळ्यांना समजले?
Yes.
ओके.
Yes, sir.
Now take down. Let us consider a system. Let us consider a system executing a cycle by process by process next line. Let for process 1A2 in bracket path A for path A लिहा मग इक्वेशन नंबर 1 लिहा एवढं लिहा QA is equal to delta E of A plus WA. इक्वेशन 1 लिहा. Written. Next line. Process 2B1 in bracket path B write down equation number 2. QB is equal to delta E of B plus WB. Lila, equation number 2.
Yes, sir.
Below that, as system execute a cycle, comma, we have yeah, my equation summation W cycle is equal to summation Q cycle. Summation W cycle is equal to summation Q cycle. ह्या सगळ्या स्टेपला इक्वेशन 3 पण द्या. Right up to equation number 3. Up to 3rd you can write. Over? Is it over?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Complete, sir.
Okay. After equation number 3rd, similarly, you can write this. Similarly, minus delta E of C is equal to delta E of A. हे लिहा equation. चला equation number 4 म्हणा. Similarly, minus delta E of C is equal to delta E of A. Equation number 4 हे लिहा. इक्वेशन 4 ले आए, minus delta E of C is equal to delta E of A. That is equation number 4. Okay, from equation 3 and 4, 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 delta E of B is equal to delta E of C. Delta E of B is equal to delta E of C. Okay, so below this write down, hence change in energy or change in internal energy, hence change in internal energy, change in internal energy between two states of a system, change in internal energy between two states of a system is the same, comma, irrespective of path followed, irrespective of path followed, irrespective of path followed, irrespective of path followed by the system, by the system. Full stop. Therefore, internal energy is a point function. Internal energy is a point function and a property of a system, and a property of the system, and a property of the system, and a property of a system.
सर लाइन रिपीट कराओ.
Okay. Change after equation delta E of B is equal to delta E of C, then you can write in one statement, that is, hence change in internal energy between two states of a system is same, comma, irrespective of path followed by the system, irrespective of path followed by the system. Full stop. Full stop. Therefore internal energy is a point function. Therefore internal energy is a point function and a property of the system, and a property of the system, and a property of the system. लिया खाली note note the cyclic integral of any property, the cyclic integral of any property, the cyclic integral of any property is 0. Cyclic integral of any property is 0 because the final state is identical with, the final state is identical with initial state. Final state is identical with initial state. Final state is identical with initial state. Therefore cyclic integral of dE is equal to 0. Cyclic integral of dE is equal to 0, or summation u is equal to 0. Summation u is equal to 0. Summation u equal to 0. Okay, so these conditions are important. We require this condition for solving the numericals. Understood everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now next. So we'll see the some basic terms. Put the heading. Enthalpy. Enthalpy. Now internal energy we have studied. Now enthalpy. Okay. Now put the heading enthalpy. So what is enthalpy? Already you have learned this term in the 11th and 12th. So enthalpy is what? It is a heat content in a system. Whatever the heat content in a system, nothing but enthalpy. So whatever the work interaction, heat interaction, all kinds of interaction happens. So whatever the heat will be present in the system is nothing but enthalpy. So we can write mathematically enthalpy is equal to or calculated by the formula H is equal to U plus PV. So U stands for internal energy and PV stands for pressure volume type of work, PV work. Okay, PV work. H is equal to U plus PV. So whatever the unit you can measure, it's in kilojoule. Okay, but sometimes we have to apply the term specific enthalpy. When we say word specific enthalpy, it means mass will be 1 kg. Unit kg of mass is considered. See, I have written the two formulas here. So for calculating enthalpy, H is equal to U plus PV. That is summation of internal energy plus PV type of work. So that summation we can get the total enthalpy of the enthalpy in the system. Okay. And secondly, we can have calculation of specific enthalpy by letter H, small h, is equal to small u plus P into small v. So this equation, that whatever the small h indicate the specific enthalpy of the system, okay, we can get value in the kilojoule per kg. See, try to understand the difference between two equations. Here I have written capital U. At that time, internal you consider kilojoule for mass more than 1 kg. Okay, and whatever the enthalpy you will get is for kilojoule. But here H is equal to U plus PV. So this enthalpy you will get in kilojoule per kg because it is considered for the unit kg of mass. Okay, तर युनिट केजी ऑफ मास साठी आपण कशी एंथॅल्पी काढायची, दॅट इज स्पेसिफिक एंथॅल्पी H is equal to U plus PV. So you have to remember these two formulas. Capital H is equal to capital U plus PV, and secondly specific enthalpy H is equal to small u plus PV. So you can have the unit is kilojoule per kg. Okay, you can write these two equations. Write down. First of all, enthalpy means what? Enthalpy is nothing but
Heat content.
heat content, total heat content in a system. Total heat content in a system. Next line, it can be calculated by the formulae. It can be calculated by the formulae. Small a, total enthalpy H is equal to, small a, total enthalpy H is equal to, write this formula U plus PV, capital. त्याच्या पुढे युनिट पण मेन्शन करा, किलोजूल. And secondly, specific enthalpy, small h, small b म्हणायचं, specific enthalpy small h is equal to U plus PV. Unit is kilojoule per kg. Unit is kilojoule per kg. Okay, attendance is day by day it is deteriorating. So please try to attend the lecture. If you want to have some important work, you should take permission from your class coordinator. Okay, because today's attendance only 35 students are present. So this is not good picture. Getting? So every day everyone should attend. Otherwise, your parents will be called in the campus. Why your ward is remain present? So that discussion will be there with HOD sir. So don't remain absent without permission. सो दो तुम्ही घरून जर अटेंड करत असाल तर ते अटेंड केलंच पाहिजे. जर काय तुमचं इम्पॉर्टंट वर्क असेल, सो यू शुड इन्फॉर्म टू युअर क्लास कोऑर्डिनेटर, टेक प्रायर परमिशन. ओके, तुम्ही त्याच्यासाठी तुमच्या पालकांना बोलायला लावायचं बाबा काय आज आज अडचण असेल लेक्चर अटेंड करायला वगैरे, तर तुम्ही पालकांशी बोलून पालकांनी फोन केला पाहिजे सीसीना आणि त्याप्रमाणे ते परमिशन कन्फर्म असल्यानंतर तरच तुम्हाला अलाउड आहे राहण्यासाठी किंवा लेक्चरला absent राहण्यासाठी ऑनलाईन. So don't remain absent, because if you remain absent then whatever the concept we have discussed today you will not understand in the next lecture. हे सगळं कनेक्टेड आहे कम्प्लिटली. हे आलं तर पुढचं येत आहे. ठीक आहे. सो टेल दिस मेसेज टू युअर फ्रेंड्स, ऑल शुड रिमेन प्रेझेंट फॉर ऑल द लेक्चर्स. ओके, ठीक आहे. So I think time only 1 minute is left. So those who are not put the attendance, please put in the chat box. So in the